It has been a long time since I've been to one of these events. Today we're going to Concorso, Ferrari and Friends, and the New England Supercar Club Cars and Coffee. It's 6:50 or so in the morning. Gonna go head out, grab some breakfast real quick, and then eat it on the way, because it's a pretty good drive from my house. But there should be some Paganis, Ferrari 599XXs, all the cool stuff, some Glickenhauses. This is a really big meet. Now, I haven't done much hypercar, supercar stuff on this channel. Primarily been focusing on stuff like my Jeep, my Prelude, the Firebird, like other little project cars. But I've been wanting to film more of this stuff, and when the Rona started, I wasn't really able to because these events weren't happening. Now that these events are happening, I can start filming them. I can do more edits like you guys saw in the last video. I'm gonna start at the Prelude, check the oil first because it's a 30-year-old Honda. Yeah, nothing like standing in the middle of an open field in the middle of summer. Woo! Damn it. Cold startup, 1990 Honda. Sounds like garbage. Well, the car doesn't start, and it is a 30-year-old Honda. Not even any lights, so I've had this problem, like, I don't know, probably more often than I should care to admit, where it doesn't want to start. I don't know why. It's had weak cranking lately, so my guess is a bad battery. But the battery light was never on. It always started, except for now it doesn't. There was a few times where it didn't. I would wiggle the terminals and it would magically come back to life. But I'm stranded at Dunkin' Donuts and I'm gonna be super fun late for Cars and Coffee. I'm gonna be late for I might not even actually make it to Cars and Coffee because there's a close at 9:15. So I'm gonna stay here, eat my donuts, wait for my dad to get here with some actual tools because I have one pair of pliers and that obviously doesn't do much. So gonna wait for my dad and then we'll fix it up. So after wiggling enough wires, quite literally, I got the car to start running again. However, I know that's gonna happen again, and I would rather be stuck 5 miles from home at Dunkin' than stuck 75 miles from home in Connecticut. I actually just saw my dad at the intersection. I think it's my positive terminal. It looks like absolute garbage. You know we're in the right neck of the woods when you get passed by a Lamborghini Huracan on the highway. He was behind me for a little bit and then he did a fat pull to get in front of me. Things sound so good, just the 5.2 liter V10, I believe. Such a good sounding car, but you know we're in the right area now. So I just pulled into the Farmington Polo Grounds. This is where the Cars and Coffee is going to be held. It's also where Concorso Ferrari and Friends is going to be held. And the most awkward thing happened. When I pulled in, I totally forgot that they wanted the parking donation. It's not like mandatory, but you're like a bad person if you don't do it. There's horse poop everywhere here. Like you're a bad person if you don't donate money, because I think it goes towards the Connecticut Children's Hospital. And I didn't have much cash on me. I'll tell you, I didn't have the $10, so I literally had to donate $1 and I feel so bad. But I totally forgot. I never carry cash on me. No one does. It's 2021. So sadly they didn't take Venmo, but I'm gonna go check out some cars, saw some cool stuff, got chased down by a Huracan on the highway, so should be pretty fun. Got some super cool cars parked up. Got the 599XX, I believe. Yep. And the Monza SP1. The last time I saw one of these, it was a dark green color. It was at Ferrari of New England. The roofless design is so sick, although I imagine you're eating some bugs when you drive this thing. And of course the full-on race car. This was at last year's Dream Ride. I believe it was 2019's Dream Ride. I believe it was the loudest car there. Full carbon fiber everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see the color on camera, but the red is just super flaky, super pearly too. It's a wicked cool color. So there are a ton of cars here for the Cars and Coffee, and I see a Bugatti Chiron. That's cool. And a Koenigsegg. All right, not bad. I gotta find a bathroom though, because I've been driving for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So yeah, got the Miami Blue GT3, beautiful spec. This is sort of like the one that I did that little review on. except it's a manual, even better. The one I did the review on was the automatic, and pretty similar car. I got this insane spec Bugatti Chiron. The way the two-tone lower half of the front bumper matches the wheels, and of course all the way in the big swoop, absolutely beautiful. Love the color of that blue. That's basically the same blue I want to go with the Firebird, except on a several $million hypercar. Same idea though. And of course we have Sparky on Instagram's Agera XS. Definitely been driven, definitely not been washed. I love it. Seen some pretty crazy videos of this car doing some stuff that Koenigsegg should not be doing. You guys see all the dirt, all the pollen, and everything in there. That's awesome. Love to see it driven. Well, it appears more hypercars have showed up while I was in the bathroom. That's impressive. Another Bugatti and a LaFerrari Aperta. So we're gonna go check those out. Those are pretty sweet. It's actually a Veyron, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen a Veyron in a long time. Even more hypercars showing up at the old school Veyron. I believe it is a Super Sport. That looks wicked good. I love the white. And of course the practically matching LaFerrari Aperta with the super pearl white paint. They got W16, V8, there's a V12 hybrid, another V8, another V8, another W16. Check out the engine bay, all the carbon fiber sitting on that V12. This is one of the best sounding cars in my opinion. Well, that's badass. That's a Glickenhaus. So admittedly, while looking and oohing and awing over the LaFerrari, the Glickenhaus had to beep at me to get out of the way, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna go check that out later when the crowd has died down around it, because it's kind of insane how many people are just following that thing. That always happens at these shows. Whenever the Koenigsegg pulls in, there's just like a mob of people walking around it and you have to wait for it to clear up. But I believe I see a 718 in Miami Blue as well. That's some really cool cars here for the Cars and Coffee, so I'm gonna show some of those off because there are some wicked cool cars, including this Cobra with what appears to be a nice blower on top. Got one of the crazier spec Aventadors I've ever seen. I absolutely love the orange. All the carbon fiber accents are great. And then you have this pinstripe around the wheel, the matching piece in the wheel, and the matching calipers. What a crazy spec. The full carbon fiber Aventador Roadster, carbon roof, carbon frunk. I think it's absolutely insane. I love this spec. And of course, my weakness, we got a GT350, 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 GT500, GT350, a C8 Corvette. I have been wanting to pick up an S550 Mustang for a while now. About a year I've been looking into it, and seeing all of these is not helping. There's also a Viper ACR, not ACR, but the new gen Viper. Oh my gosh. If I go to a Ford dealership, I'm gonna walk out with one of these, and that's not a good thing. I do pre-apologize because there are a ton of cars here, and I'm definitely not gonna be able to film them all. Like, with the amount of cars here and the type of cars that are here, I'm literally walking past GT4. There's an Aston Martin DBS right here, GTR. Like, these are just cars that we're just walking by. There's so many cars here. I'm trying to film all the cool and super unique ones. And well, not exactly the easiest because there are going to be thousands and thousands of cars here. Like, there's Vipers, GT3s, Bugattis, Koenigsegg's, all the fun stuff. So, but this color right here, this is probably the classiest car. Oh my gosh, I love Aston Martins. I've never actually driven one, but they are amazing looking cars. And on paper, they're not too bad. Got the DB9 right here. I'm gonna go ahead because this battery's at about half life. If I keep just slowly filming every car, we're gonna have a problem. I know it's gonna be some cool stuff, so I'm gonna switch over to more of an edit style. So cue the weird montage of cars I can't afford. This is one of the Huracans I saw pulling in. Absolutely love the color. I didn't see the interior. I mean, I imagine I'd probably ruin this interior in about a week. However, it does look really good. Of course, the forged carbon on like the vents and whatnot on top of your gauge cluster. Really cool spec on this. The blue with the white interior and the forged carbon is an absolutely killer combo. You get the forged carbon paddles as well. Not sure how I completely missed it pull in, but we got an F40 here. So I think I'm gonna end this video here. There are a ton of cars here. All the McLarens, Porsches, and Lambos you can go out. We got Paganis, Koenigseggs, Bugattis. I didn't actually know that I didn't know the Chiron, I didn't know the Koenigsegg would be here. The Paganis always show up to these events, and even the spectator parking is pretty impressive. Seeing a lot of SL55 AMGs and all the cool stuff. I also saw that McLaren 570, which is actually the first supercar I ever sat in 4 years ago, and that's always sort of been like my dream supercar because of that experience and because it was really the first one. So really cool cars here, awesome event. Concorso Ferrari is an annual thing in Connecticut, happens every June, and it's always a really cool event. Supports the local children's hospital, so that's pretty cool as well. Just a bunch of people getting together, donating money, so it's really cool. If you guys like this style of content, sort of just me going to Cars and Coffee and showing off all these crazy cars, comment down below, because I don't usually do content like this. Usually my content is just me recording myself working on my own cars, so it's kind of different for me to do this. I used to make videos like this, but then it changed, so I wasn't sure what you guys liked. If you guys liked it, hit that like button, comment down below, let me know if you guys did like this video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've been uploading a lot more frequently. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this. That ended with life when I say shit. Now I'm inside all them people's playlists. So one day I'll be stomping.